I am going to tell you something about the Texas story that nobody else will say on television tonight. This story shows how the extremes of both parties keep getting more powerful and leave all of us normal folks in the middle and without a voice. That is our Why It Matters segment tonight. There is an insane amount of focus on what's happening in Texas. Probably more focus because Republicans are doing it rather than Democrats, but that doesn't really matter for this story. The governor of Texas called a special session to redraw the state's congressional maps. As you can see, this is what is current, and this is what is proposed. Adds 5 more solidly red congressional districts, seats in the U.S. House of Representatives. Democrats in the Texas state legislature don't have enough votes to defeat the bill, so they literally left the state and flew to Illinois, where they are held up doing cable news hits all day, every day about how dangerous Republicans are and how virtuous they are, with J.B. Pritzker, the governor there. But redistricting efforts are now underway in 7 states. If you're not familiar, it basically means state lawmakers are trying to rig elections in their party's favor. And we are going to show you how this works. This chart explains everything. District lines are drawn strategically around groups of people that reliably vote for one party. You can see in this 50 precincts, 60 blue, 40 red. You can draw the lines so either it's 2 blue, 3 red with only 40% of the vote, or it is all blue. That is redistricting. The party drawing the lines gets a more favorable electorate. It is really why America is so divided. Of the 435 seats in the United States House of Representatives, more than 400 are either reliably red or blue. There are very few actually competitive House races. Very few where congressmen are rewarded for compromising, for bipartisanship. So typically, the redrawing process happens right after a census every 10 years. But Republicans clearly are doing it in the middle. This is 2025. Typically, it's 2020 and then 2030. There is no question that this is against the spirit of the rules. Whether it's against the rules or not, we don't really know. But it's against sort of the norms, right? And today, President Trump tried to justify the redistricting in Texas with the oldest excuse in the book.
Yeah, they'll do it anyway. Why? If we stop over there, they would have done it anyway. Look, a lot of these states, I watched this morning as Democrats are complaining, and they're complaining from states where they've done it.
Fact check, true. But the result of these partisan games is clear. The middle ground in America is evaporating before our eyes, and we are left with only partisan attacks. Consider this. Republicans in Texas now want to arrest Democrats for trying to stall a vote on redrawing the voting map.
And I believe they have forfeited their seats in the state legislature because they are not doing the job they were elected to do.
My first move would have been to chain them to their desk. The next is trying to arrest them.
Okay, so Paxton there is running for Senate, and unquestionably and undoubtedly, everybody in this, Democrats and Republicans, are fundraising over it. For what it's worth, the president said Texas Democrats need to do at least their jobs.
They've abandoned the state. Nobody's seen anything like it, even though they've done it twice before. You can't just sit it out. You have to go back. You have to fight it out. That's what elections are all about.
So Democrats are playing the victims here, and that's what either side does when they're on the losing side of an issue. And they now say that they're going to go hog wild on redistricting in response to Texas.
This is a war. We are at war.
Frankly, Democrats say, come and take it.
We need to win in the midterm. We need to stop him from cheating.
They've decided that the only way to save themselves is to cheat.
They've triggered this response, and we're not going to roll over.
I hope that blue states across the country see this as a signal flare and start carving up their own seats.
As I said, we're going to fight fire with fire. We're going to use every tool at our disposal.
Okay, Democrats already have used every tool at their disposal. They gerrymander just like Republicans do. And here's the thing. This battle at its end is going to fundamentally change elections in America. They're going to become less and less and less competitive, meaning fringe candidates will win more easily. In fact, we're already seeing it in a number of states. Just 3 of 17 Illinois congressional districts, about 18% of the people, are represented by Republicans in a state where President Trump won 44% of the 2024 vote. The Princeton Gerrymandering Project gave Illinois, where all the Texas Democrats are, a grade of F for having one of the worst gerrymanders in the country. The irony of the Texas Democrats seeking refuge in the land of Lincoln. California, heard Governor Gavin Newsom there. He's going to fight fire for fire. He's going to go for it. California has 83% of its House seats held by Democrats, with just 58% of the 2024 presidential votes going to Democrats. It's not only Democrats. Traditionally red, swing state North Carolina, Republicans hold 10 of 14 seats, 71% of the seats, despite the fact that Trump won just 51% of the state's vote there. This map shows some of the most gerrymandered states in the country. You can see it's an issue across the country. And fights like this one we're witnessing in Texas right now, they only make the problem worse. And the problem we're facing is simple. The more you redistrict, the more the extremes take over. That's because districts with reliably going one way or the other, well, it's going to be the party primaries that matter, not the general election. So in the states that are red there, and there's getting to be more and more red states, common sense voters lose their voice. America became the greatest country it is today because it was governed under a system of checks and balances. Without it, the country may never be the same.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.